For those who don't know me, around these parts, I am known as Nerf Herder. Let me tell you a little bit about why we're here today. I've been coming to protest here at the Broadview Ice Facility since September. One of the reasons I started showing up was because JB Pritzker had encouraged us to get out and protest during Operation Midway Blitz. And up until recently, I was a fan of his. He wasn't perfect, but he had done a lot of good for Illinois, and I trusted him to stand up for us in the face of a fascist takeover. When I first started coming here, my main goal was to force ICE to spend its time dealing with me instead of kidnapping people off the street. I had no problem getting pepperballed and tear-gassed if it meant keeping my friends and neighbors safe. However, beginning in October, I was no longer directly dealing with ICE because the Cook County Sheriff's Department and Illinois State Police had showed up. Here is a clip from an October 10th interview JB Pritzker did on Pod Save America, explaining why he sent those troopers here.
We've got Illinois State Police that are working with the local law enforcement in Broadview. That's a separate suburb. It's not Chicago. And it's a very small police department there. We're working with them, and we've brought in the Cook County Sheriff's Office to protect the protesters who, as you've seen in some of the videos, they're getting pelted with, gas pellets, with rubber bullets, even when they're not doing anything wrong. I think everybody now has seen the pastor just standing there praying with his arms wide open and getting pelted. So we're doing things to protect people on the ground as best we can.
Well, I didn't want their protection. I understood the need to cut down on the amount of chemicals regularly being fired into the air. It's not good for the community that lives in Broadview, most of whom never wanted this detention center in their neighborhood. However, if you look at the stats, Operation Midway Blitz was way more productive in October when the ISP and Cook County Sheriff's Department were not only keeping us away from the detention center, but also regularly beating and arresting protesters. They frequently did this after the protesters had followed their instructions to move or disperse. Does that sound like they're protecting us?
No.
How about when they knocked an 80-year-old woman to the ground, giving her a head wound that sent her to the hospital? Were they protecting us then?
No.
Or when they arrested Reverend Michael Wolf after he had backed up as requested and posed no threat? Then several officers kneeled on his back despite not resisting in any way. Was that for our protection?
No.
How about during one weekend in November, when they even started using the same chemical weapons on the protesters they'd been sent here to prevent ICE from using? Did they do that to protect us?
No. Did it on camera, too.
They absolutely did. When this first started happening in October, I assumed Governor Pritzker had no idea what was going on. I started encouraging folks to call him, to get him down here to witness what was happening at Broadview. I personally called him almost daily throughout October and November. But it slowly became clearer and clearer to me that Governor Pritzker already knew about the chaos he had created by telling people to get out and protest while sending in troopers to abuse and arrest those who followed his advice.
Right.
On October 23rd, the National Lawyers Guild met with his office to inform him of what had been going on here. In November, Alderman Byron Sigio Lopez confronted him about this issue at an event in Little Village, only for the governor to literally run away from this question. We'll hear more from the alderman a little later today. In December, he met with several religious leaders who were arrested along with Reverend Wolf about their experiences here. In January, I asked Pritzker about the state police in Broadview during an AMA he hosted on Reddit. My question went unanswered. despite being one of the top upvoted comments in the thread. Yet after all these meetings, confrontations, and questions, the tactics used by the county and state police here haven't changed. A month ago, on No King's Day, several more protesters were arrested, many in an aggressive and violent fashion. I have a friend who couldn't be here today, who's still recovering from injuries inflicted on them on that day. Shame.
Shame.
And by the way, most of those who've been arrested here have had their cases dropped or thrown out.
Right.
If nothing else, that sounds like a gigantic waste of taxpayer money.
Right.
Shame.
Shame.
Thus far, the mainstream media has portrayed Pritzker as a hero of the rebellion. He's prioritized maintaining that image over the safety of the constituents he encouraged to rebel. He's still never publicly come to Broadview, despite several efforts I and others have made to get him here. He successfully dodged this issue thus far, and I, for one, am tired of it. So, before he gears up for a presidential run, let's make him answer for the pain and suffering experienced here.
Right.
Repeat after me. Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
Hey,
Pritzker, where are you?
Come on down to Broadview.
Come on down to Broadview.
Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
Come on down to Broadview.
Come on down to Broadview.
Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
The ISP's a state issue.
The ISP's a state issue.
Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
County cops are state issues.
County cops are state issues.
Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
Hey, Pritzker, where are you?
Get your ass to Broadview.
Get your ass to Broadview.
Throughout today's event, we'll be hearing from some of the people who've been at the receiving end of the abuse from the state and county police. People who've been arrested, abused, and injured because they were exercising their First Amendment rights.